Hello, my name is Evan Owen in the Office of Residential and Commuter Life. Welcome to the Main Campus Residence Hall Housing Registration Tutorial for the 2019-2020 year. Main Campus Housing Registration takes place between March 18th to March 26th. All students planning to register with a roommate must create a roommate group and accept membership in the group through the Student Housing Gateway prior to the registration date. Single and double rooms will be available during the registration process. Full occupancy is required to register for a main campus room. All spaces in each room must be filled by continuing residential students. Housing registration is conducted each day from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. through the Student Housing Gateway. Female students register from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and male students will register from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Students must enable pop-ups in their web browsers to properly utilize the Student Housing Gateway. Each group will select a designated roommate who will register the group for an assignment. The designated roommate must ensure that all members of the group have accepted the invitation to join the group in order to be pulled in as roommates during the registration process. Those students that do not have enough roommates to fill a room to full occupancy should submit preferences for housing on the designated date, and the RCL office will assign the students to a housing space. Sophomore room selection for students that have 40 to 55 credits. Registration will take place March 18th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. through the Student Housing Gateway. Female students register 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and male students register 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. The designated roommate must have earned between 40 to 55 credits at the conclusion of the spring 2019 semester in order to assign self and other residential students within the selected main campus room. Full occupancy is required for a main campus room. Only continuing residential students can participate in the main campus housing registration process. For sophomores registering with 25 to 39 completed credits, registration will take place March 19th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for the Student Housing Gateway. Once again, female students will register from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and male students from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. The designated roommate must have earned between 25 to 39 credits at the conclusion of the spring 2019 semester in order to self-assign and other residential students within the selected main campus room. Full occupancy is still required and only continuing residential students. Freshman room selection for students that have 24 or less credits. Register March 20th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. to the Student Housing Gateway. Female students, once again, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Male students, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. The designated roommates must have earned 24 or less credits at the conclusion of the spring 2019 semester in order to self-assign along with the other students in the room. Full occupancy is required and only continuing residential students. Solo residents. Residents who are not registered with a roommate will register March 21st from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Student Housing Gateway. Students with 55 or less completed credits at the conclusion of the spring 2019 semester that cannot fill a room to full occupancy must submit housing and meal plan preferences for an assignment and will be notified of their assignment by the RCL office. Junior and senior room selection, or students with 56 or greater credits, will take place March 25th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for the Student Housing Gateway. Female students will register from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and male students from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. The designated roommate must have earned 56 or greater credits at the conclusion of the spring 2019 semester in order to assign self and other residential students. Full occupancy is still required, and all students participating must be continuing residential students. Solo residents, juniors and seniors, will register March 26th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for the Student Housing Gateway. Students with 56 or greater completed credits at the conclusion of the spring 2019 semester that cannot fill a room to full occupancy must submit housing and meal plan preferences for an assignment and will be notified of their assignment by the RCL office. A few helpful reminders. Double and single room accommodations are available during the main campus housing registration process. South Ruckner Hall is the only residence hall that provides single room accommodations. The housing rates for the 2019-2020 year are published at longwood.edu/housing, and students should discuss these rates with their family and/or financial provider prior to housing registration. All students that register for housing are signing a legally binding agreement. All students are encouraged to review the published housing terms and conditions, which can be found at longwood.edu/housing. Students can access the Student Housing Gateway through the RCL website directly, or at the following web address. As you approach housing registration, it's important to have a backup plan. What will you do if your first choice of residence hall is not available at the time of registration? Have a plan before your registration date. Make sure you enable pop-ups in your browser to properly utilize the gateway. The total of main campus rooms that remain after each registration day will be posted on the RCL website. Make sure your roommate has accepted membership in your roommate group prior to your registration date. Any students that require a health or disability-related housing accommodation must apply for those accommodations each year. The deadline to apply is February 25th.